Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm filming my August and September books together because last month I didn't get to film my August books. I just didn't, by the time I filmed it, it was already like September, the middle of September, and I didn't really like the way the video turned out, so I decided I would just do August and September in one video. That way, we can talk about books, but also you're still getting all the books I read. I have all of these books to talk about today. I'm gonna start with the August ones, which are these books. These are the books I read in August. And we're just gonna get straight into it because I do have a lot to talk about. And I don't wanna be talking forever. I can already tell that my throat is not feeling great. All right, so we'll start with this book. This is Golden Girl by Ellen Hilderbrand. I'll read the back and then we'll talk about it. So it says, on a perfect June day, Vivian Howe, author of 13 beach novels and mother of 3, is killed in a hit-and-run accident while jogging near her home on Nantucket. She ascends to the beyond, where she's assigned to a person named Martha, who allows Vivi to watch what happens below for one last summer. Vivi is granted 3 nudges to change the outcome of events on Earth, and with her daughter Willa on her 3rd miscarriage, daughter Carson partying until all hours, and son Leo currently off again with his high-maintenance girlfriend, she'll have to think carefully about how to use them. From the beyond, Vivi watches the chief investigate her death, but her greatest worry is her final book, which contains a secret from her youth that could destroy her reputation. When hidden truths come to light, Vivi's family will have to sort out their past and present mistakes with or without a nudge from above, while Vivi finally lets them grow without her. Okay, so that's the back of the book. I would rate this book like a 4 out of 5. I did really enjoy it. It was a very sweet book, like family drama kind of beach read, but very entertaining at the same time. Interesting concept how they explained what happened after the mom died. Like, she went to the beyond and got to like watch everything and like nudge to try to change what would happen. I thought that was an interesting way to look at things, in my opinion. So then I read, I want to say something real quick, because the last few months I've been reading a lot of thrillers. Like, literally all of these books are like thrillers basically. So that was a lot of reading thrillers. I've really been enjoying that kind of book recently. But the next book I read is The Woman in Cabin 10, which I thought this was gonna be like a book about a cabin, like a wood cabin, but it's actually like a boat cabin. And I didn't realize that until I started reading it. Okay, oh yeah, this is the one that has like no information about what the book's actually about. Like, so I just picked this book up and kind of hoped for the best, because literally the back doesn't say what the book is about like the rest of them do. But I rated this a 5 out of 5. A lot of these books were really good, so they're rated pretty high. But I'd give this a 5 out of 5. I really liked this book. From the moment I started reading it, I couldn't stop. Like, I was reading it at night when Ryan was at work, and it like kind of creeped me out. Like, I had to stop reading it because it was scaring me. And it's been a long time since I've read something that scared me that bad. But it was really good. And you can almost, like, the way the author wrote, you can almost feel the main character's like emotions while you're reading. She did a really good job at portraying what the main character was feeling throughout the book, which is really, really good. She was a really good writer. The way it was written too, like the book was organized. I need to look because it's been a long time since I read. So it was like separated into parts, and most of the whole entire part was like the present, but then at the very last part, at the end of each part, it flashed forward to the future, and then you get to like read what actually happened, and but then the next part takes you back, if that makes sense. I hope I explained that right. I'm trying. The last book I read in September is On a Quiet Street. This book was really good too. I also rated it a 5 out of 5, but I'll read the back and then we'll talk about it. Who wouldn't want to live in Brighton Hills? This exclusive community on the Oregon coast is the perfect mix of luxury and natural beauty. Stunning houses nestle beneath mighty Douglas firs and lush backyards roll down to the lakefront. It's the kind of place where neighbors look out for one another, sometimes a little too closely. Cora thinks her husband finished cheating. She just needs to catch him in the act. That's where Paige comes in. Paige lost her son to a hit and run last year, and she's drowning in the kind of grief that makes people do reckless things like spying on the locals. Searching for proof that her son's death was no accident and agreeing to Cora's plan to reveal what kind of man Finn really is, all the while their reclusive new neighbor, Georgia, is acting more strangely every day. But what could such a lovely young mother possibly be hiding? When you really start to look beyond the airy open floor plans and marble counters, Brighton Hills is filled with secrets, some big, some little, some deadly, and one by one they're about to be revealed. This book was so full of action. It's honestly, I don't understand how the author put so much action into one book. So much was happening at every moment in this book. It was like insane. Really, really good book, and the way the author wrote is really good. I honestly had no idea, like I couldn't predict what was happening until it happened. It kept me interested the whole entire time, which usually a book, it takes a lot for a book to do that to me. But this book was really good. If I was gonna recommend any of these books, it would probably be this one. This one was so good. Little baby. She's being a good girl today. All right, now I'm gonna talk about the books I read in September. I hope I said that right. These 3 books I just talked about were the books I read in August. The next 3 are the books I read in September. So this is the Hotel Nantucket. I wanted to read this book for so long, and I finally found it at Target, I think, because I couldn't find it anywhere. Then I finally found it, and I did read it. So I'll read the inside cover, and then I'll talk about it. Fresh off a bad breakup with a longtime boyfriend, Nantucket sweetheart Lisbeth Keaton is desperately seeking a second act. When she's named the general manager of the newly renovated Hotel Nantucket, a Gilded Age gem rescued from neglect, she hopes that her local expertise and charismatic staff can win the favor of their London billionaire owner, Xavier Darling, as well as that of Shelley Carpenter, the wildly popular Instagram tastemaker who can help put them back on the map. And while the Hotel Nantucket appears to be a blissful paradise, complete with a celebrity chef-run restaurant and an idyllic wellness center, there's a lot of drama behind closed doors. The staff and guests have complicated pasts, and the hotel can't seem to overcome the bad reputation it earned in 1922 when a tragic fire killed 19-year-old chambermaid Grace Hadley. With Grace gleefully haunting the halls, a staff harboring all kinds of secrets, and Lisbeth's own romantic uncertainty, is the Hotel Nantucket destined for success or doom? This was a pretty long book, I'm not gonna lie. It took me quite a while to read, but it was super good. I would rate it again 5 out of 5. I know I've given a lot of 5 out of 5s, but it was very entertaining, and a lot of characters, and like each character had its own kind of thing, and it was fun to like read and figure out the characters and who was who and like learn what their thing was. So that's pretty much it. It was just like a really good, entertaining book. Like drama, lots of characters, lots of action, a lot of things were happening. It was just good. That's kind of all I have to say about that. Next I'm going to talk about this book, which this book kind of shocked me. So let me read the back. Emily is having the time of her life with her friend Kristen in the stunning mountains of Chile, until she enters their hotel suite to find it covered in blood. Kristen claims that the cute backpacker she brought to their room attacked her, and she had no choice but to kill him in self-defense. Panicked, Emily helps her hide the body, but as the walls close in on their cover-up, she wonders if they can truly outrun their dark secrets, and if she can really trust her closest friend. After all, this isn't the first time one of their trips has ended in bloodshed. This book was crazy, and the girl, Kristen, in this book, she's freaking crazy too. She's insane. But I would give this like a 3.7 out of 5. It's hard to rate books out of 5 because I like all the books I read pretty much, except for that one, The Paper Palace. Remember I talked about that book? Did not like that book. But all of these books are not bad. Lots of turns, like I said. very unpredictable. Well, actually, I did kind of predict what was going to happen in this book, so it was kind of predictable, but fun to see like if my prediction was correct when I got to the end, so I like that part. There was lots of character development and secrets that you learn about Kristen throughout the book, and you do learn that she is a little bit crazy. So I was right about that one. But yeah, I guess that's kind of all I have to say about this book. It was pretty good. Not my favorite one I read this month, but again, it was good. I definitely enjoyed it. The cover is really cool too. I like how colorful this is. It's really nice. Okay, now I have one more book. I don't have a lot to say about this book because, to be completely honest, this book reminded me a lot of The Guilt Trip, which I'm pretty sure I talked about in another video. The concept of this book and that book are almost identical. Like, almost identical. It doesn't have a lot to say on the back. It says, an exclusive wedding on a remote Irish island. The bride, the plus one, the best man, the wedding planner, and the bridesmaid. All have a secret, all have a motive, but only one is a murderer. So somebody died. You have to spend the whole book trying to figure out who did it, kind of thing. It did remind me, again, a lot of The Guilt Trip, which I don't really know like how I feel about that, because I think this book's a lot more popular than that one. But how do authors... how are they able to take concepts like that and write about them without getting in trouble? Like, does that make sense? They were like really, really similar, so I don't know. But I would give this like a 3 out of 5. Like, it was still good, but it was almost like, I didn't need to read both of them. I could have just read one. They were that similar. So yeah, it was good, but not my favorite. I don't have a lot to say. It was kind of like a who did it kind of thing. You just spent the whole book trying to figure out who killed who and why, basically. There was quite a few characters, and each chapter was like broken down into the character and their point of view, kind of perspective-ish. So I kind of like books that are written like that. But it was easy to follow, easy to understand, not very predictable. I was quite surprised when I figured out who was the killer, but I'm not going to spoil the book. So yeah, that was all the books I read in August and September. I will be back to do October books. I know I've slacked the last couple months, but I will be back to do just October itself, not October, November. So I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you later. Bye.